I'm trying to touch the states this time. 2021. Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says chirp, not a camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me.
I'm trying to touch the states this time. 2021. Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says chirp, not a camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me.
Kid for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in. I get it in, I get it in. Kid for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in. I get it in, I get it in.
I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang and roll, on the go, ice swole, ice swole, ice swole.
Kid for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Kid for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and I only know it takes time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now.
Kid for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, if they pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
In finance, God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me now by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish, V12 engine, all black like fit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got God's gift, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish, V12 engine, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish, V12 engine, all black like Batman. 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 I press the button and the doors go up. Whoa, that money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, 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 whoa. I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, Vintage friends on my face, looking like I'm from the deep. These no Cartiers, pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like. Whoa, that money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip. Neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib. Neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick. Neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the deal. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, yo, no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no, no, no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Heard the big bags overseas, then we gon' go, go, go. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like. Whoa, that money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, 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 whoa. I press the button and the doors go off like. Whoa, that money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the Rant do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up? I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I'm fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the checks. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with a tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Shit, get your money, not your hater. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up, I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you, I'm a coach now. Commentating, do the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Made little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ay, fill in my pocket with legal tender, cost me to be the winner. Fly out before I can see the winner, no more TV dinners. Wake up and roll me a wood in the morning, I heard it go good with the vitamin C. Baby, you don't need no friend for this evening, believe me, you better all ride with me. Slide to the loo in my leisure, but still had to cop me a crib right outside of the D. I let them think what they wanted, cause I got bundles of bread, it ain't bothering me. I've been up late in the lab just in case you was looking, that's where I'ma probably be. Make sure you thought about all of that you saying before you done brought it to me. Brought all my soul to the masses, as soon as I dropped out of classes, I knew it was over. Lately I feel like I'm cashless in poverty, made me a savage, just weight on my shoulder. Told my little baby the waiting is over, I showed her I'm really the man. All of these rappers be trying to send me they songs, I just told them to send me a band. All of my gon' turn up the function, I'm hitting the stage with that Henny in hand. Boy, you ain't poppin' until you can fly out the country. I met on my city demands. I do not rock with authority morally. None of them be coming correct. Watch how you treatin' the one at the bottom tomorrow. He might just be coming to connect. I know that well what I know. I can't speak what I don't. I don't stress how you feel, so I'm gon' do what I want. Know that well what I know. I don't speak what I don't. I can't stress how you feel, so I'm gon' do what I want. I can't fight, I'm over that. That just feel like overkill. Act like I ain't told you that. Don't do that, you know the deal. I can't fight, I'm over that. That just feel like overkill. Act like I ain't told you that. Don't do that, you know the drill. Ay, fill in my pocket, I don't.
Too easy. I make you put your hands on your head like the Macarena. That's why I gotta watch my demeanor. You know they locking up blacks in the team.
I'm trying to touch the states this time. 2021. Yeah, show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside since birds chirp, not a camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8-day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me.
What's going on today? What's our chain? Hey, if you want to hear live, I'm gonna drop the link if you want to get in and talk about any of these topics. I'm gonna do it early. Give me a second here. Oh, it's Friday, man. I'm excited. It's a chill day for me. After my kids get out of school, gotta take my kids to my oldest son to martial arts. It's pizza day. Pizza day with the family. But me, I can't eat the pizza. I've been sitting here on a quest for health, if you will. If anybody know what I'm talking about. During the pandemic, I got really big, if you will, bigger than I like, how I feel comfortable in, man. So I've been kind of working out the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm seeing results. Got to bring sexy back. But yeah. If you want to come on and talk, you can hit the link. I'm gonna ramble a little bit. The good thing I like about social media, because you can ramble, man, get things off the chest. It's kind of therapeutic for me, if you will. It's right now we have NFL draft. I got my Kansas City Chiefs on. I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I'm actually a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I didn't think they was gonna get a quarterback. They usually don't, But Kenny Pickett got picked up first round. What y'all think about that? Put in the comments, man. If you know anything, I don't really pay attention to football like I should, like I used to. I used to be all in the games you could play. I used to play Madden, and I had the college game, and I would draft the college to the. Neither here nor there. That was so many years ago. That was eons ago. I didn't watch the draft. I didn't watch basketball last night. I've been watching basketball every day. I think the playoffs is really good right now. So I'm excited about that. Just the talent, man. And I like it because they're in smaller markets. See, when LeBron was out there balling and everybody was doing the super team thing in the 2010s, I'll just gear that to 2010s because everybody want to bring up old stuff, When you talk about somebody, they always want to bring something back and say, well, you did it. Well, let's just talk about now. We ain't going to talk about when Charles Barkley played. Well, I am going to talk about it in the future, but it's my show. I do what I want. I do what I want. But I haven't been keeping up with the NFL. I keep up with the NBA lately, boxing, different things like that, but can't keep up with everything, man. I'm just not really into the watching the food get made. I just want to see you on the field. I do like the NFL when it comes to they don't have that many games and every game count. But I didn't do that last night. Matter of fact, my wife and I was having a great conversation in the kitchen. in the dining room, and I didn't want that to end, so we just was talking. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes when we talk, we can talk for hours. But what I'm saying, like recently, we've been working out, trying to get right. My birthday's coming up. My wife's birthday's coming up. So we're really excited about that, man. We really excited about life, man. Kids doing well, God bless. And that's enough about me. You're not here for that. But if you're here for the first time, hit that like, hit that subscribe, also hit that notification bell. And if you don't know who I am, my name is LeBron J, part of JSN Live. If you like what you see, man, because I have quite a few people who support the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the Cash App LJ Report 412 if you really want to support me in the channel. If you like what's going on, if you hate what's going on, leave a comment and send me some cash, man. Also, support the Cash App, man. Super chat. But I'm gonna get in some topics, man, and I'm gonna let you go on with your day, man. It's gonna be a beautiful day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to talk about Sage Steele. I covered her last year. The show did pretty well. I covered her when she was in regards to the Cody, which we can't say on the show because I'm about that money, man, and I can't be getting demonetized. But I brought that up recently, last summer, and the show went pretty well. So we're gonna talk about that, because I got these shirts that says the streets gotta eat. You want your shirt? Streets gotta eat. Just support, man. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, go to AFJCWorldwide.com if you want the shirts. Check out one of our sponsors, AFJCWorldwide.com. That is AFJCWorldwide.com for our latest apparel, homeware, and drinkware. Definitely get a shirt for your husband, wife, doesn't matter. Again, check out AFJCWorldwide.com. Yeah, so if you want your official Streets Gotta Eat shirt, go to AFJCWorldwide.com. All right. Give me a second. Get my mood. Yeah, man. So that's that. But I'm gonna get into it, man. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Also, I want to talk about that Draymond Green chiming in with Shaquille O'Neal blasting Charles Barkley, Kevin Durant. What you think about that situation? Definitely want your topics, and I'm shout out to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, getting a new quarterback. I like to talk about when I was in Pittsburgh. I'm not there now. I'm down south. Had to fly with the birds to go down south. I could no longer deal with the weather. It was so cold. Now, my wife took me out up north, kicking and screaming, but she knows best. I couldn't handle it. She knew I couldn't handle that winter. She looked out. You dig? Oh, 1 second here. Yeah, but usually I just come on Sundays, but I'm trying something new. I'm coming on every day, Monday through Friday. So I'm gonna do this for a while. Appreciate the people catching the show on replay. But anyway, let's get to it. I want to talk about Charles Barkley. That's one of my favorite players ever, by the way. Charles Barkley. Something about me, I like outspoken people. I like people who's not as scared to go against the grain, say what they want, because that's what I do. I believe in freedom of speech really well. I don't think you should be agreeing like the Stepford wives and everybody is just agreeing and saying the same thing. So Charles Barkley always been my favorite player, my favorite guy. He's not perfect by far, but I love the fact what he says, whatever's on his mind. Some of it's strategic, some of it's not. But I'm a fan of that. And so I followed this story. First off, I'm gonna play the audio of what this sparked everything off. And I just don't like this generation in the sense of this generation is always defending these players, these millionaire players, and defending and feeling sorry for them. Or a lot of people say, well, if they're a black athlete, they should be protected. I think their family should be protected. I don't think their career and what they put out there should be protected. Actually, people don't understand business. It's really better for people to talk about you than not. So what I like to say is keep my name in your mouth. And that's not the first. I have to give the shout out to Star for saying this, Star Report. But I like that. Keep my name in your mouth. So for the people out there who always want to sit there and say, don't talk about these athletes. Well, the people we're talking about is making the most money. That's where the most traffic is. If you notice anything, that's why like radio stations, they controversy sells. And then everybody out pick off the carcass. That's how the money made. That's why I got my shirts. Streets gotta eat. Streets gotta eat here. So you want people to talk about you. Keep my name in your mouth. And that's the thing. So Kevin Durant is so soft when it comes to that. He got burners accounts. He sit there and him and Kyrie, they want to sit there and say, I just want to play basketball. That's not what you signed up for, bro. If you want to just play basketball, you can go down to the YMCA. You can play basketball all day there. No, you want it to be the best in the world, and you want to be on this platform, and you want to get paid so you can take care of your family. Keep it 100. So now you got the money. The money don't matter to you at this point because you made crazy amount of money these athletes are making. Now you have a problem with people talking about you. All right, I'm done with that. I'm done with my groove. And so I was watching TNT the other day. I don't know. Did you guys? Did the Outlaws out here? The Outlaws, my Outlaws. Did you catch the TNT coverage? I'm gonna play an audio from it. But this is what stirred and got everybody riled up. Well, not everybody, but the feminist energy in the room. Kevin Durant and the Draymond Greens of the world. Let me play this audio here.
To me, the pressure's on Trey. At some point, you got to have a great game if you're a star, especially in a.
He had a great quarter, but now you're talking about a great game.
Oh, he had to have a great game.
That's all 4 quarters.
You got to listen. When you're a star, that's the responsibility that comes with it. You have to say, you have to win. I actually tell people this. When you're a star, you have to win 2 games in a series.
So when you're averaging 28 in the regular season and you're high in 3 games of the.
And I totally agree with what Charles Barkley is saying right now. Charles Barkley never played bad in the playoffs. So he has much as authority than a Robert Ory when he talks about the NBA playoffs. He put up or shut up. He would drop 20. I remember one game he played against Golden State Warriors, and he dropped 44 and 24. Like, he was not playing. When he talks about winning games, he may not win the series, but he would win. They would win games. They would make it competitive. You can't get swept. You're a grown man with grown men behind you. You cannot get swept. So I do understand what Charles Barkley is saying when it comes to that. If you're a star, you should not, I repeat, You should not get swept as a star. You should not be held under 20 points if you're the best in the world. Point blank period.
Games in a series.
So when you're averaging 28 in the regular season and your high in 3 games of the postseason is 25,
But also it's just an offer percentage though.
Yeah,
It's not. It's just not about. When you're a star, your minutes should go up, your points should go up because number one, you're gonna play more minutes during the playoffs, or you should. But the main thing is you should never be tired. You're not playing back-to-back games. You're not getting on a plane at midnight to 1 in the morning and flying in trying to play. You get a good night's sleep every night. So your number should always go up during the playoffs.
but you're also playing a very good Miami defense.
Yeah, but listen, man, I don't even want to hear. I'm so sick of you guys making excuses for these dudes.
We're
Listen,
making excuses.
no, don't tell me. Well, then don't tell me you're a great player if they can slow you down. They thank you, Shaq. Tell them.
I'm with Chuck
Come on,
this,
man. Don't tell me you're a great player. I mean, all these guys can play, but please don't tell me you're a great player and you're averaging 20. Come on now. I don't think I ever played in the playoffs and averaged 20.
Here we go.
Is Kevin
Here we
Durant a
go.
great player?
Here we go.
He is,
And he's been stifled by Boston.
and
I was going to go there.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to badmouth the dude, but I see you guys always talk about that championship stuff. I try to tell y'all, all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around talking about you're a champion. If you riding the bus, I don't want to hear it. Come on, Shaq, tell them. All these guys walk around with these championship rings. Hey, y'all bus riders. But let me
That's
tell you
2 in a
something.
row, Chuck.
When you the bus driver and you got all that pressure when you have to play well or you're going to get the blame, that's a different animal.
It's a different animal. But I think also guys
Guys, what?
on the bus,
Yeah.
they're
More
also
important.
giving directions.
Yeah. No,
Giving
stop.
directions.
No.
There are guys that are on that bus giving directions. They're not just sitting there.
Yeah, they just on the bus.
No,
because let me tell you something.
No,
the Clippers, because let me tell you
There's guys, okay, Kevin Durant's not on the bus. He's just not on the bus.
Yeah, no. But what has happened when he was driving the bus?
So he's never just
What happened when he was driving the bus?
he lost to the finals.
Yeah, okay, he did. And then when he was in Oklahoma City again.
But he was driving. You don't think he was the bus driver in Golden State?
No, I do
You don't
not.
think he was the best player on that team?
No, I do not.
Wow. I do.
Well, you can say that, but
I thought he was the best player.
you don't join no 73-win team and talking about you.
But he was the best player.
No, he got MVP. He wasn't the best player. Iguodala wasn't the best player. He got MVP.
Yeah, so I have to ride with Charles on this one. Charles is right. If you're a top player, you got to perform no matter what. That's what they pay you big bucks for. If you don't want the smoke, then you can go work a regular job. And if you're really good, and there's not a lot of people who's all superstars like that. There's stars, there's players that can play, but there is someone who could take another level, like LeBron James, for instance. LeBron James has been consistent his whole career. No facts. No lie about that. He showed up, except for like certain games, which was going to be a stain on his career. He didn't show up for Dallas in 2011, didn't, and he didn't show up for Boston. But other than that, LeBron has been killing, no matter if they lost or not. He would get like at least 7-7. One game he had 48. I remember he shut down the Pistons. So you have to show up. And Cat, I'm back. You have to show up. You have to show up. You have to drop 30 or 40. The team going to need you. You play 82 games. He's right. You get a rest. You stay in the same area. You stay in the same town. You play 2 games here. You got to get your rest. You got to focus. But at the same time, no one should stop you. Everybody say you're 6'10", you're 6'11", KD. How is in this game? Jaylen Brown blocked you. You was exhausted. You was scoring. You had to play 47 minutes. But no one should slow you down if you're that dominant. Did anybody slow Shaq down in the playoffs when he had the win in 2000, 2001, 2002? No, nobody. Nobody slowed Jordan down. Nobody slowed the greats down. You say you're a great, you should not be slowed down. Never. Never, never, ever, ever, ever. Not for a series where you couldn't win a game. A game.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about
This brother can't win. Are we serious?
You can't win.
It's crazy. You can't win. You know, I'm gonna play now. Draymond Green came in and he said his 2 cents as well. And Draymond Green and Charles Barkley been shooting shots at each other for a while now. Uh, and it was very funny actually. You remember when? Well, let me see if I can find it. Well, I'll play it after. But this is what Draymond Green had to say about Shaquille O'Neal. And this is when they were talking about champions, and uh, Kenny Smith was trying to basically play, the nice guy and say, "Well, you're a champion to me, even though you don't have a ring. You may not be a champ, but you're a champion to me." He was saying that to uh, Charles Barkley, and Charles Barkley like, no, no, I don't care about all that. But this is what the response was to when Draymond Green heard that. Listen to this. Having difficulties playing it? Come on. Okay, it's not working right now. I'll get to it.
What I did not appreciate Kenny sitting there talking about, like, why are you trying to all of a sudden be the nice guy? Chuck, don't call yourself a champion. You're not a champion. You are a champion. Like, miss me with that, Kenny. Chuck didn't win the championship, and he got to hear that. Let's miss me with all the nice guy stuff, Kenny. I didn't like that part of the bus driver talk. To the fellas at the studio, Jeremy, you better not let Kenny do that again. And Ernie, I was disappointed in you allowing Kenny to talk to Chuck like that. And the big fella, G14 classification. I don't know if Chuck necessarily got the G14 championship classification. Y'all stop letting that guy do that, man.
Yeah, so that's what Draymond Green said, and I mean he has all right to say that because the media, which is Shaq and Kenny and the rest of them, they stated that you got to have a ring. Let me see if I can find when Charles Barkley said that. See if this is it. I'll play in a minute, but this is what the media projects. Ever since the media controlled the narrative of sports. There you go. I think
1989.
Thank you very much, Dr. O'Neal. Entertaining way to
Maurice.
that one, and then here we go.
Me?
Because
that ain't it. But ever since they did that, let me see. Analogy is officially gone. Well, I don't have it up here, but most people heard the bus driver thing. Like you got to drive the bus, and you got to take all responsibility, which I totally agree with. And there's a difference between someone who get rings for being on the team, and there's difference between the guy who got all the pressure on them. Like all the pressure is not going to go to the guy on the bench. I've been on plenty championship teams growing up, and I was not the star on the team. I was riding the coattails of it, and that's what he's talking about. It's a whole different ball game and animal when you got all this pressure on you and you have to win. See, Draymond Green he's not a bus driver. He is riding the bus and he's getting the accolades. Very good player, old school player, if you ask me. He can play defense. He can shoot the ball. He does what's required. But when I told people before, let him go to Detroit. He's from Detroit. Let him go to Detroit and try to change that team around and be the superstar. You see how much pressure he's talking about when you're driving that bus. It's very tough to play because a guy that's on the bench don't have to play great every game. But a guy who's driving the bus, you gotta drive that bus right every time, or you're gonna get they're gonna be like boom, boom, boom. Why you driving so fast? Why you hitting all these potholes? This you went the wrong way. We're late. You always have to be great if you're the pilot. And so I totally agree with him. Um, and Draymond Green, I understand what you're saying. Like, don't I didn't like what Kenny Smith said either. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're all champion to me. That's some new age stuff, man. Everybody is not a champion now. I don't like that when everybody gets the trophy bull crap. No, you lost, accept it. You got a good life for losing. No, I would rather lose and make a lot of money. You only got to be right once. That's one thing I learned. You only have to be right once in your life, and you could be a millionaire. You can have the baddest woman or the greatest man. You just got to be right once in life, you know. But that is the thing with that, man. I don't believe I'm liking I like the NBA now. Like I said, uh, because they're not talking about all this woke stuff, and everybody's it's basketball. Like people want basketball and superstars. Like you need superstars, you need basketball. Stop running your mouth. Do what you're told. Basically shut up and dribble. People don't like to hear that, but that's what the America want. I don't want America have spoken, man. Look at CNN right now. CNN gets no coverage. Nobody watched CNN because they tried to be woke. The only success they had was when they were covering Trump because people hate Trump, people love Trump, but they still want to see him. And that's one thing I learned. It don't matter if someone don't like you. It don't matter. If half the country like you, you'll be president. Hey, but what y'all think about that, Draymond Green? Definitely leave it in the comments. Who you riding with? Do you like what Shaquille O'Neal saying? I mean, Shaquille and Barkley, or do you like what Draymond Green and is Kenny Smith out of line for that? Trying to pick a winner. Trying to pick a winner. Now, I wanted to touch on Sage Steele. Obviously she's about she works for ESPN. I think she still do. I'm gonna pull up an article and I'm gonna kind of run through it. Let me see here. Yeah, so Sage Steele. Now, right now, according to this article, NPR, she is suing ESPN over freedom of speech claim. Now, according to the article, one of ESPN's longtime anchor, I think she's been there since like 2004 or something like that. Uh, Half and half. She's mixed, so that should tell you a little bit of something right there. But anyway, um, one time, let me make sure this is up here. Okay, one of ESPN's longtime anchors is taking the company and its parent, the Walt Disney Co. to court over freedom of speech and contract violation claims. Last September, Sage Steele voiced frustration with her employees. I'm not going to say that name. You can read for yourself. Uh, and briefly mentioned former President Barack Obama while discussing her racial identity as a guest on the Uncut with Jay Cutler podcast. Now, afterwards, she was pulled from the air for what she said on there. Businesses don't play, man. If you go, they give you a employee manual, and this is for people who say, obviously, I don't need an attorney. I never use one. You did use an attorney. You just didn't use your attorney. You used theirs. Because anytime you sign a contract to work somewhere, or the employee manual is for people who don't make real big money. You fill out the employee manual, and they basically give you all this paperwork, and then you don't read the employee manual because you're so happy to get the job. You're like, oh man, thank you for giving me this opportunity. You're just signing away, and that'll be that. But Steele's lawyer, Brian Friedman, said the sports media allegedly retaliated against her for speaking about her personal beliefs outside of work despite being in a compliance with ESPN employees policy. Now that's a huge word right there because if she was out of compliance, she could not sue or she would not win. Now Steele was punished for speaking her truth in violation of freedom of speech protection under Connecticut law and the US Constitution. That's a huge word right there. Friedman said ESPN violated her freedom of speech right, retaliating against her, reprimanding her, scapegoating her, allowed the media and her peers to exonerate. Let's see that word. Her and force her to apologize simply because her personal opinion did not align with the Disney's corporate philosophy of the moment. Now that's another huge statement. Corporate philosophy of the moment. See what she's talking about there, or the attorney is they're changing to this woke culture, and they changed their social construct of the company, and therefore she gets reprimanded because she don't have those same ideas. She was not at work when she was talking about this. She was on her own time. And when we look at jobs and corporations, it's all slavery. Like slavery changed to voluntary slavery instead of involuntary slavery, and that's what's going on. So typically you can't talk about anything about the job or anything else or you'll be fired. Now, Sage is standing up to corporate America to ensure employees don't get their right trampled on, their opinion silenced. And that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing about it because you have rights, but there's certain benefits in life that you would give up your rights for. Like for instance, if you want a job, if you have hair, some jobs say you got to cut your hair, you got to cut your mustache or your beard. Um, you can't talk on the phone. Like certain things that happen when you work in corporate America, and you need to know your rights. But at this case, they're saying she's saying that she was in the right for speaking her opinion on the case, on the what I call the Cody and other things. He was talking about Obama. There's a hierarchy here when it comes to liberals because this world is they basically taking God out of schools and churches. I mean, it's church versus state right now. That's basically what it is. But now this world is based off of liberals and conservatives. That's what this world is divided into. And if you are in a place where it's majority liberals, you're going to struggle. It's kind of a bully tactic. Now, according to the court filing, Steele's legal team alleged ESPN took her comments out of context. And I believe that too. I watched the video. I was trying to find a video to see if I could pull it up, but you can Google it yourself. They went on. They went one step further, claiming that ESPN operated under a double standard by condemning Steele for her comments while ignoring other political and controversial statements made by other employees. During Steele's appearance on former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler's podcast, which aired, this was like last year, September ish. And I did a live about it, that video, and it went pretty well anyway. Cutler asked why she had a band aid on her arm. She explained that she had just gotten her, you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to say it, in compliance with Disney's corporate mandate. Even though she personally felt the company required to do so was out of line. Now she did keep her job, but basically what she's talking about, she didn't want to do it, but she had to do it for the job. And it was crazy because a lot of people lost their job because they decided not to do that. Now I respect everyone's decision, I really do, but to mandate it is sick and it's scary to me in many ways. Still said on the podcast. But I have a job, and I love, and frankly, a job that I need. So she basically has a family. I think she was going through a divorce at the time, if I can remember. Um, and she needs her paper. She needs her monies, if you will. So, on the topic of race, still explain she was proud to come from a family that is both black and white. The court filing said. Now, I think around the time when she's talking about this, Jamel Hill was there, and you had Corey Champion, and it was so woke. It's actually woker now, if that's a word. Right now it's really woke on ESPN. I'm seeing a lot of black commentators, females, and they're putting a lot of black people with diversity in there. Well, not even diversity because they're firing white people right now. They're replacing them with black people, and black people need to watch because you think you got a good deal, and when it comes to anything on the left, they want equality. So if an Asian starts saying, "Hey, I need a job," and you're not putting me on stage, then guess what? Stephen A's out. The rest of the black crew's out because they have to replace him. That's what happens. If transgenders come in there and they say they want a job and you're not treating us fairly, then y'all gotta go. There's not enough jobs, not enough big high paying jobs for that. On the topic of race, like I said, still explained that she was black and white. As a conversation continues, still recalled her 2014 appearance on The View, where she was asked why she didn't simply identify herself as black, similar to Obama. She said she was fascinated that the former president had identified solely as black despite having been raised by a white woman and grandmother. Still, um, and I remember that. I remember she was saying that. And it is, I remember, what's his name? Uh, golfer. The golfer, the black guy. Man, I just slipped my mind. Tiger Woods, and Tiger basically said he wasn't black. He was like, he's my mama's Asian, so that'll be disrespectful for her, and I think it's the same ordeal. And there's a lot of hate in the black community, man. Like even with between light skinned women and dark skinned women, there's always been some type of feud between them. And you know, uh, if the black girl is the only, if she's outnumbered by a lot of light skinned women or white women, then she gets bullied. If there's a bunch of black women, dark skinned women around light skinned girls, they get bullied. It's kind of like if you, I don't know if you ever watch School Days with man, what is it? Spike Lee. He kind of showcased that in the '80s, so it's still prevalent today. You got a lot of people putting skin cream on their skin, and in Africa is really big. In Nigeria, a lot of these women they have their self concept of themselves is really low. I'm not saying anybody that I'm talking about is like that, but still tested positive for COVID-19 just days after the podcast was aired. And she had to basically go on do a public apology. That bothers me when people have to do a public apology when they don't mean it. But I guess the corporations always want to make it because they only care about their bottom line and their money. Um, so they're like, you got to apologize because I don't want to lose any money. Basically, that's what it is. But Still's lawyer was arguing otherwise. So Still was removed from air on October 4th to the 14th during the which time, according to the filing, multiple media outlets reported that Steele was sidelined for the comments she made on Cutler's podcast. In the court filing, Steele said ESPN did nothing to rebut the widespread report that it has suspended or otherwise disciplined Steele for her comments, both because those reports were true and because ESPN stood to benefit from the public perception that it had punished Steele for her remarks. Steele's team is seeking damages for ESPN allegedly violating her First Amendment rights in connection or Connecticut law, which prohibits employers from disciplining any employee for exercising freedom of speech. Her lawyers also accuse ESPN of breaching Steele's contract and initiating excuse me, intentionally inflicting emotional distress against the anchor. So I totally agree with. I think she needs to sue them. I really do. It's a problem over there. It's so woke. It is so woke over there in the ESPN. It actually sucks. I don't even watch it no more. I mean, they're trying to fix it, I guess, because I don't see too much. Well, I can't even say that because I don't even watch them. I don't watch ESPN no more. I miss the old ESPN when they just showed clips. It's corny. Now, one thing that I heard, with even Ryan Clark, which is guy that used to play for the Steelers. According to the article on Outkick, Ryan Clark refused to work with Steele, and this is according to the lawsuit. So ESPN NFL analyst Ryan Clark refused to appear on air for a scheduled segment last year with his co-worker Sage Steele because she has exercised her rights for freedom of speech and spoke out against the company against the mandate. Steele alleged in a lawsuit filed against ESPN parent company Disney. According to the suit, Clark told ESPN executives on November 12th, 2021, that he would not appear on the episode of the 12 p.m. SportsCenter unless the network replaced Steele, the anchor of the show, with another host. And when ESPN declined, Clark did not show up for the appearance. Now, he suffered no penalties from ESPN as a result, according to the lawsuit. At least ESPN is consistent. Clark is just the latest example of double standard when it comes to ESPN, which permits left-leaning on-air talents to engage in incredible behavior with without repercussions. And that's true. Long as you talk about their agenda, they're fine. I know Stephen A. Smith talks about the Cody and getting that vacation all the time, but I thought you couldn't speak on it. Long as you encourage people to participate in the liberal movement, you're fine. And I remember Stephen A. Smith got in trouble for that when he went against because they at that time they were pushing feminism, and he started talking about Ray Rice's wife, and he said, "What if she did something to get hit?" He kind of cleared it up on the show. He's like, "I don't claim or I don't produce or promote violence. However, what if she did something to provoke him to hit him?" So then he gets suspended. The women is out there and outraging, but now he's like, because he's scared to lose his money again. With ESPN because he got fired at one point in 2010 where he ain't have anything. He went through his savings and he lost it, but he went back, and that's when he basically begged for them for a job, and then all of a sudden he's on every show because he don't want to be broke again. So he is a pawn in this system in ESPN. So now he loves the sisters, and he's hugging Molly and going on and hired all these other African American women because he wanted to show that he loves them and he going to work. But when he got neutered, Stephen A. Smith, he got neutered, you know, for a while. He can't say what he really want to say. And that's the thing. When we're still in the world of slavery, if someone's paying you, that means that when they're paying you, that means you have to do what they tell you to do. And and that's what they're paying you for. They're not paying you for your expertise or what you're going to do. No, 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 no. You wash this car like this. You do this just like I want it, or you're gone. That's just how it is. And they're failing. ESPN is failing. These media outlets are failing, and good for them. Now the suit points out the fellow Sports Center analyst Nicole Briscoe also turned mean girl against Steele. She once replied amen to a tweet that expressed hope the ESPN would no longer permit Steele to cover women's sports events. Now, actually, that was not true. Briscoe didn't just say amen. In fact, She nearly dared a network to discipline her for publicly criticizing a colleague saying "Amen." That got a lot of backlash. But I'm not gonna continue to read, but y'all can check that article out. It was a really good article on Outkick. Um, but my take on it, I think um, ESPN is just going downhill. I think it's done. Um, there's no turning back. I think they're too woke right now. It's not fun to watch, and I believe Steele has a case. Freedom of speech is very important to have, but you don't have it if someone owns you. That's the question. I mean, that's the question at hand. But according to Connecticut law, they said you cannot get disciplined or fired for freedom of speech. You know, so Sage has a great point here. I don't know if she still worked there. I don't know, but she needs to get out of there. She needs to start her own thing, but she needs the money. Because she got I think she got two kids. I think she just got divorced, and she don't have time or energy to be trying to do that. And that's what happens with people. When people get jobs, you're just you can't do anything. Like the government and the school system, they run the government. I mean, the government run the schools, and they're trying to train you to be employees. That's what they want you to do because they need it's going to help the economy on their part. So they need you dependent. I remember I was read this book with I think his name is Jason Gatto or something like that. He was a teacher. He was the teacher of the year in New York, and he said one of these things. He said he quit the school because people were getting dumbed down. Like even like with the part when you hear the bell ring, when you hear that bell ring in school, they are programming you to do what they want. And the people who get disciplined in the group is the ones who speak out. And it doesn't matter if you speak out, you cannot speak out against the establishment. They teach you that. And then they say you have to go to college. And most of the people that's in college that's teaching is the ones who did not want to teach or didn't want to go to the war. They were dodging wars. So what they would do is the loophole was you can go to college and you don't have to go to the war. And that's what happened. So a lot of these older teachers, they're from the war. And if you're not going to get a whole group to change, like you can't get certain, like let's say conservatives to change their views. So what you do is you got to go to their children, and how you go to their children is you 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 keep these people working. You elevate the prices of things so that the mom and dad got to stay home. I mean, stay at work, and then you go to school and you brainwash these kids, and then to get to a point when the kids get a little older and they start questioning what the dad is teaching them and the mom is teaching them. This is where we're at here. And when it comes to slavery, job slavery, corporate slavery, you can't do what you want to do. And Disney is so big right now as an entity; they can do whatever they want. They know that most parents is not going to pay attention. They have studies on this, so they could just have your kids watching this stuff and just brainwashing them on their agenda. This is what's going on with her. And yes, I totally agree that Sage Steele was getting treated unfairly in a woke company. Like you had Jamel Hill, she's a disaster. She goes to CNN and like these women that bust into this men's sport is taking it over. Jamel Hill, you covering sports, but you out here with this woke stuff, carry champion, like oh, women can't get ahead. See, that's the problem when you try to push women agenda because women don't have men's agenda. The thing is, if you uplift a man, and a man always want a woman, right? They take care of the woman, and if the man win, he's going to take care of his wife. If a woman win, she's going to look down on the man. She's not going to have him roll with that. See, and that's the problem. Even when when Nicole Nichols had that issue with the other woman, I forgot what her name was, Maria Taylor. And Maria Taylor set her up, recorded the conversations, and put it, and said it. She said, man, she played chess, not checkers. She made sure the streets got to eat on that one, Maria Taylor. She ain't put nary information out. She had that information she was sitting on for a while, and she waited until it was time to get a contract, and she pulled it out. And Nicole Nichols, I don't have any respect for her because she tried to attack men. She left ESPN and then she went to CNN and she had a show where she was attacking these men athletes like like Floyd Mayweather and others. And Michael Vick, and I didn't like that. I didn't respect that. I did not respect that. And now the rabbit got the gun. So the black women did that to her. And she couldn't stand it. She's like, pay my dues, and I'm just getting fired because of these women, these black women. That's what you get when you play that game. So we'll see. But I mean, I believe that she's gonna win the lawsuit. I don't know. I mean, when I posted up the Ryan Clark situation, we don't know. This is the reference that I received. So you don't blame me. You blame Outkick. Outkick put this information out. So it has nothing to do with me. But yeah, man, what y'all think, man, about the whole situation with Sage Steele? And leave a comment below. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. Shout out to Friday, and hopefully y'all have a good day today. And I'll keep you posted. Peace.